Good morning, all of you. In our previous lecture, we have started about what is meant by non-verbal communication. Related with the non-verbal communication, we have studied about physical appearance, gesture, how we want to maintain a one kind of eye contact. So we can call to this making eye contact as oculesics. Okay. So like all these terms also, today we are going to study about exactly what is meant by proxemics. So here the proxemics is nothing but is a one kind of study where we are going to maintain a one kind of space distancing between the two persons. Okay. If we see in any one of the company, so the manager has a separate chamber. He used to sit in that particular chamber. And on the contrary, if we see the picture, the employees, they have also the another office which is given to them. So whenever we are going to study about that kind of physical space, okay, especially in the professional world, so we can call it as proxemics, that is related with space distancing. It is always suggested to us when we were doing our BEd, that is Bachelor of Education. So while doing our BEd, it is suggested to us that maintain a one kind of distancing with the students. Okay. So whenever we are going to study about all these things, so it is included in our proxemics. And it is also related with the personality of that person. Okay. It is also related with the behavior of that person. Some persons are very open-minded, and some persons are automatically very close-minded. They don't want to share their ideas. So that's why we can call here the given concept of the proxemics. It is related with an individual. It is related with the personality of that person, and at the same time, how that kind of proxemics maintaining a one kind of space distancing. It is also changes from culture to culture. It has a cultural variations, and there are also at the same time various kinds of spatial zones are given to us, which intimate space zone we have. In that intimate space zone, we want to maintain one kind of physical touch to the 18 inches. So here, how we are going to maintain one kind of space in the various kinds of zones. If we are in the personal zone, so then in our personal zone, we are going to maintain the distancing of the 18 inches to the 4 feet. And on the contrary, if we are in social zone, so that space distancing should be from 4 feet to the 12 feet. The last space zone that we have, and in this kind of last space zone, we are going to maintain the distance of the 12 feet to the 30 feet or more than. So why these kinds of various kinds of space zones are given to us? The basic agenda is that we are going to take the experience in all these kinds of various kinds of zones, whether it is our personal life, it is our intimate or the social or the public. So whenever we are going to maintain one kind of space distancing, so before maintaining one kind of space distancing, it is very essential to us that here we are going to make our relationships very clear. Okay, whether it is our personal life or whether it is our professional life, wherever we are going to behave with our boss. So how here we want to behave with our boss, and whenever we want to be in contact with our family members, then how we are going to make our behavior. In short, it is also one kind of matter of making our relationship very clear with our colleagues and at the same time with our family members. So that's why here Arabian he's trying to convey to us that status manifests itself by relaxed posture and a way of interacting. Means how here we are going to present our status. We are going to present our status while using a relaxed posture. We have studied about what is meant by posture in our previous lecture. So the posture is nothing but how here we are trying to control on our body or how we are trying to hold our body while making the movements of our hands, how we are also trying to keep the control on the unnecessary movements. Okay, so that kind of status when it will be maintained whenever we are in a relaxed posture and when we are going to maintain that kind of physical kind of space distancing. So that's why, especially in the United States, most of the non-verbal communication that they have in the workplaces, so it is related with their power. They have one kind of power whenever different of people they are working in their professional life. For example, you and I are close friends. So this is called as a subject-verb agreement. So in the subject-verb agreement, first of all, we want to maintain, we want to mention the name of those person with whom we are interacting. First of all, then later on our name will come. Okay, so correlated with the physical proxemics, making the our relationship clear, it is considered as important part. Okay, so according to our zones, here our various kinds of members which are included in our zone, especially in our intimate zone, as we know that our all family members, our all uh, close relatives, which are included here. Then in our personal life, what are kinds of friends we have, our academic life, in our professional life, our colleagues with whom we are working in the various kinds of offices. Okay, so these are included in it. Then later on, in our social zone also, whenever we are, especially in our journey, especially in the trains, we are meeting to the various kinds of strangers. See, whenever we are also going for any one of the program, so at that time we are going to meet to the various kinds of people. So these people are strangers, which are considered as they are included in the social zone. Okay. Then the last zone we have, so we can call to this last zone as it is the zone of the public zone. So here in the public zone, what are kinds of distinguished notable speakers are there. Okay. So all these speakers, Maheshwari is also one of the famous notable distinguished speakers, especially the students who are belonging from an engineering. So these students they used to listen to the public speeches of the Maheshwari. So that's why it is included the public zone. And at the same time, whatever kinds of political leaders are there. So these all kinds of political leaders, whenever they are giving their public speeches, especially at the time of the elections, they are trying to tackle to the public to acquire the more and more sports. They are using their tactics. Okay, so that's why whenever we are going to maintain a one kind of physical space distancing, so it included so many things related with our intimate family members. At the same time, it also included our personal members, in which friends. Then, whenever we are also going to meet the various kinds of strangers, especially in our journey, and at the same time on the various kinds of occasions. Okay, so these are all the various kinds of zones in which all these members are included. So this was all about what is meant by proxemics, and related with the proxemics, the various kinds of in the various kinds of zones how the people are considered. So that's why proxemics is also considered as one of the important term. This kind of important term, it is related with our how we are going to maintain a one kind of here space distancing. Okay, so now like the proxemics, we have also the another kind of term. So we are going to study about that another kind of term. So we can call to this term as the haptics. Okay, haptics is also considered as one of the important term. This is also related with our non-verbal communication. Okay, so related with the haptics is nothing but whenever the mother is trying to take care of her baby, so that kind of touch is also considered as one of the important kind of means of communication. Is trying to show us one kind of love. Is trying to show us one kind of affection between the mother and her infant child. So whenever we are going to study about these kinds of haptics, so it is included in haptics. It is nothing but it is related with the touch. So here the word haptic, it is derived from the Greek word, and the meaning of this Greek word is I touch. So as I said you earlier that haptics is nothing but it's a one kind of a systematic kind of study related with our touch behavior. So that is included in the. So it is considered as one of the systematic study of the touch behavior. Okay. So here the sensation of touch, as I said earlier, the sensation of touch for of mother for her child. Okay. It is also used to gather the one kind of information. Okay. In the world of technology, we are using the biometrics. Okay. So this kind of sensation touch of our finger, it can be used to collect the information. How many employees today were present, okay, in our company. So that is also included in haptics. And whenever we are going to study about it, is part of our haptics. Okay. So the touch, our touch, it is also trying to generate the various kinds of feelings. Okay. So these various kinds of feelings, it includes one kind of warmth. Okay, one kind of warmth. Then at the same time, the respect that we are going to give to our older. Okay, So that kind of respect, then at the same time, one kind of togetherness. Whenever we want to work in any one of the company, so while working in any one of the company, how we are going to work also in unity. So that working in unity that can be shown, okay, with the use of touch whenever we are going to meet to the various kinds of people. Is also trying to show so what kind of affection that we have among all our employees, warmth, and the friendliness. Okay, how we are living friendly in our professional life. Okay, so that kind of friendly behavior is expected whenever we are going to work in any one of the reputed company or in any one of the reputed organization. So that's why touch it is going to generate the various kinds of feelings like the warmth, friendliness, respect, togetherness, and the affection. Okay, so there are the various kinds of forms of the touch. Okay, whenever we are hugging, and at the same time, whenever we are going to give the handshakes to the strangers, to our boss, whenever we are also trying to hold someone's hand, especially on the road, those who are in need, so we are trying to hold someone's hand or the arm. Okay, this is also considered as one of the form of the touch. Okay, and the kissing on the forehead, especially here the parents they used to kiss to their children on their forehead. So it is also considered as one of the form of touch. And as we know that in our India, we are giving the respect to our older people like our grandparents, okay, grandfather, grandpa, grandma, while touching their feet. Okay, whenever the various kinds of festivals like the as we have celebrated Makar Sankranti, then on the occasion of the Dasara also, so we are touching their feet. It is considered as one of the form of the touch where we are trying to show one kind of love and the respect. Okay, then touching the head with palm. Okay, patting on the back. If you have scored the good marks in the exam, then your teacher or your parent they used to pat on your back. So that kind of patting on your back, it is also considered as one of the forms of the touch. Okay, so like that, there are the differences in the haptic behavior, as I said earlier, from nation to nation, from country to country. There are the various kinds of changes that are going to happen, especially whenever we are in the India. So whenever we are going to meet to someone, so we are using our handshake. Okay. Then whenever, especially we are in the Arab and the Asian countries, so we are using a very restricted kinds of handshake. If we are in the United States, okay, and if we are in the United Kingdom, then the handshake is considered as one of the commonest form whenever we are going to meet to someone. Okay, so that's why here we found that related with the haptics, there are the differences, and the differences are changing from scintillation from culture to culture. Okay, so that's why here I have put an example in front of you. It is also found in an observation, especially in the countries like the Thailand and the Laos. Here they are considering it is rude for the stranger or the acquaintances whenever he is trying to touch to the child on the top of his head, because they are considering in their culture that head is considered as one of the important part of their body. Okay, they are considering to their head as they have one kind of spirit. They have also one kind of soul to their head. So that's why they are not giving the permission to anyone, okay, to touch to that head of that child because they are considering that child's spirit or the soul is not strong whenever we are trying to touch to their head. So that's why like this various kinds of thoughts are there related with the haptic, how that kind of haptics it is also going to change from nation to nation. Especially whenever we are also trying, especially in the India, in the masjid, okay, whenever the child, when they are not feeling well, so then their mother, they are taking to their child and they are going to the masjid. Then that in the masjid, they are saying some kinds of mantras, they are touching to the head of the child. So that's why it is one of the just example for your information, especially in the villages when the child that not they are not feeling well, then their mother they used to visit to the masjid. Okay, so that's why that touching it is also changing from culture to culture. I have given you the various kinds of pictures in front of you. What kind of picture that we are observing in India. Then at the same time, whatever kind of picture that we are also observing in the Thailand, in UK, and at the same time in US also. Okay, so there are also the types of handshakes. Some people are also doing their handshakes to show the dominance. Some are also doing their handshakes to show the one kind of equality. Okay, some kinds of submissive palm positions are also there. Dominant palm positions are also there. Aggressive palm positions are also there. Okay, so these are the various kinds of types of the handshakes that we are finding whenever we are meeting to the various kinds of people from the various kinds of backgrounds. Okay, then we have also the other handshakes also in which dominant handshaking, okay, dead fish shaking, and how the politicians they are also trying to handshake. So there are the various kinds of these pictures. So generally, what you can do today. So after our lecture, so whatever kinds of here the positions of the handshakes which are given to us, especially I will share these kinds of slides with you. Especially see the slide number 7, slide number 8, and in all slide number 7 and 8, you will find out the various kinds of pictures are given to you on the Google. So you can just go through these pictures and try to understand the various kinds of positions of the handshakes and how these positions which are also trying to show us the meaning. Okay, so this was all about related with the haptic. Is it clear to you what is meant by haptic? Is it clear to you? Now, after doing this study about the haptic, we have also the one last term, and this we have the last term related with the non-verbal communication. So we can call to this last term as the chronomics. So like the paralanguage, like the olfactics, okay, like the proxemics, we have the last term related with non-verbal communication. So we can call to this term as the chronomics. So here the chronomics is also nothing but It is also one of the terms related with the time. How here we are going to use the time in a proper way. So related with the cross-cultural barrier, we have already studied how the people they are giving, how the some people they are giving the more importance to the relations, and how here the some people, especially in the Western countries, they are giving the more importance to the time than the relations. And in the India, we are giving the one kind of importance to the relations than the time. So that's why whenever we are going to study about all these things, so it is included in the chronomics. Chronomics is nothing but it is how we are going to make the proper kind of management of our time, especially whenever we want to work in our coming future in any one of the reputed company. So while working in that reputed company, it is essential for us to utilize that time in a very proper way. Okay, so whenever we are going to use our time in a very proper way, then you are considered as one of the distinguished person in that environment. And how you are also trying to use our time, it is also trying to show your personality. Okay, so those who were successful people can be any one of the industrialists, it can be any one of the entrepreneur, okay, any one of the politicians, so any one of the cricket player. So why they were successful? Because they have utilized their time in a very proper way. So that's why it is also going to show our personality. And again, like the concept of the proxemics, here the concept of the time is also changing from culture to culture. So that's why whenever we are trying to use our time in a very proper way, it is trying to show us how here we are using our planning, and it is also trying to reflect one kind of courtesy, one kind of you attitude that we are going to maintain as we have studied about the you attitude, especially in our business correspondence, while writing one kind of email, or at the same time while writing one kind of job application. How here maintaining one kind of you attitude, maintaining one kind of courtesy. If we are using our time properly, then it is also trying to show our professionalism. So that's why we want to take care whenever we are using our time, especially in our communication. Whenever we are going to do our communication with our colleagues, with our boss in our coming future. So we also want to learn the art of how we are going to use our time in an effective way. Okay, so that's why is one here one quotation that I would like to present here. This quotation is written by the Edward T. Hall. He's trying to tell us that time talks and space speaks. Okay, time talk means how we are using our time. It is going to show our personality and how we are also trying to maintain the space. It is also trying to speak a lot. So that's why non-verbal communication is considered as one of the important part of our future life. In short, what we have discussed in the non-verbal communication, just I'm going to revise it in the short to us related with the non-verbal communication. Here
You are not audible, sir.
Now am I audible to you? I
Yes,
think
sir.
now yeah, related with the non-verbal communication, we have seen how we are using our non-verbal communication more than 50% in our day-to-day life, that is 65% or the 55%. Okay, so non-verbal communication, how it is going to create more impact. Okay, then how we are also going to send the proper kind of messages to the non-verbal communication. Related with the non-verbal communication, how the various kinds of types are there, in which kinesics. Okay, related with the kinesics, how it is also trying to show the how to use the body language in an effective way, especially how we are going to make our personal appearance, facial expressions, eye contact, postures, gestures. Okay, these are all the parts which we have studied related with eye contact. Okay, we want to see in the eyes of our audience. Then later on, we have studied about what is meant by paralanguage. The paralanguage, it is also considered as one of the important quality of any one of the speaker. That paralanguage can be reflected through our voice, through our pronunciation, that is called as the articulation, through our volume. Okay, and at the same time, how we are also using the pitch variations, especially the stress, intonation. So these are all the major points, pauses that we have studied related with the paralanguage. So that's why here the mark pen he has presented to us that the right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a highly as a rightly timed pause. Okay. Then how the silence. So how these various kinds of forms of non-verbal communications are going to play a significant role. Then we have studied about the proxemics, in which how we are going to maintain a one kind of space distancing. Okay, how the various kinds of spatial zones are there, and how we want to make our relationship clear before maintaining the physical distancing, space distancing also. Then how it is also going to change from culture to culture, and how we are, if we want to become successful in our life, then how we want to use our time very effectively, and how our using our time is going to show the good kind of personality in our professional life, how it is also changing from culture to culture. Okay, in the last point that we have focused, so we can fall to this last point, that is the haptics. Here one kind of affection, one kind of love of mother for her grandchild. Okay, so that study of the touch, systematic study about the touch behavior is included in the haptics, and how through the haptics we are going to reflect the various kinds of feelings like the love, okay, regard, friendliness. Okay, then how the various kinds of forms of the touch are there, in which handshake, okay, touching the feet, how these are also changing from culture to culture, how the haptic behavior is changing from culture to culture, and how the various kinds of types of handshakes are there. So, as I said earlier, after our today's all our lecture, what you can do, you can see the various kinds of pictures from the slide number 7 to 8. You will find the various kinds of pictures on the Google. So that will be one kind of work which I have given to you with an intention that you will know the various kinds of positions regarding the handshake that you are going to use in your coming future. Okay. So this was all for our today's lecture. So is it clear to all of you? Any difficulty related with the non-verbal communication? And non-verbal communication is considered as one of the important part of our personal life, of our academic life, and of our professional life. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you all of you for your overwhelming response. So if you are not getting, then you can also text me, sir. This part I didn't understand, but I can also repeat to you also. So thank you all of you for your and whatever I have, whatever kinds of notes, PPTs I am circulating in our group. So try to read it daily. Okay, so that's why you can do the preparation of your studies. So thank you all of you.